Oh, good morning, Banter fam. An extra long weekend from us too, if you will. No jokes. We had some technical difficulties yesterday, which resulted in, I think I had the problem with my laptop, but I was sitting here going, I can't hear you. But anyways, we are here. Pull up with your morning coffee and your breakfast. Banter session's about
Travis
to
sorted
go
us
down.
out.
Yeah. Trevor was the man. He came through, even he could be on the other side of the world, and we were just sitting here mind boggled by it all. So sorry and apologies for the last 2 days not being here, fam. We are good, we are well, and most importantly, we are here now. So good morning, big bro. How are we?
Yeah, good. We've had a good few days at the gym. It's been busy with the people coming in, and unfortunately, the rain kind of probably dissuades a few people. But it's been nice to kind of see some familiar faces and have a bit of laugh. I got some of that Biscoff
the
mixture.
spread.
Oh man, it tastes like a cookie. It's really dangerous. So I tried Canyon's little baked oats. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
With the egg and the baking soda and the whole gambit of stuff. So yeah, I did that, made it work, and had that this morning, and on the come up. So hopefully I should be reinvigorated. I've been up all morning actually doing work and accounting and stuff like that. So
keep me busy, eh? I feel like the long weekend had like a little bit of a lazy effect on me. Not really much studying, not really much, just enabling my procrastinating. So I think yesterday for me was the first day that I felt like the weight was a little bit lifted, and I was keen to do work and keen to do mahi. But yeah, how was your long weekend? I mean, the weather was terrible, but I mean, it was a long weekend, but it felt like most weekends that we've had for the last 72 days, I think, is lockdown. 72 days we've been in lockdown, so I was like, long weekend.
How was I read a whole book again. I read the last of my series of books. Was that weekend?
Yes,
it must have been last weekend. Yeah. So I read all that, and then so I did that all on Saturday. I actually didn't do anything. I was so tired after the whole week that I literally sat in bed and did nothing. And then Sunday ran with Jenna.
Nice.
We did our 8K. We're going to do a 10K this week.
Yeah.
And we'll just do a nice slow build up, which is nice. Yeah. And then, I don't really know
quiet,
what else. We worked. Yeah, we worked. Me and Neo have been playing PlayStation, doing a bit of Call of Duty multiplayer, Death for Death.
Nice.
So yeah, and we had a good one yesterday. I think we got like a 28 kill count. So we're pretty happy.
Nice. He's going to be a pro in no time. It's going to be no problem.
Yeah, proud dad moment.
That is a proud dad moment. I want to know what's everyone up to and how everyone has been. Let us know in the comments. Jay just put the mats have been great outside.
Yes.
Has everyone got like a full-on section now?
Yeah, so everyone gets a 8 mats connected. So it's basically 2 meters by 1 meter.
Yeah, nice.
And it's enough to be able to, if you need to do burpees, you can. And we're using the clips to interlock them so that when you go down, the mats don't spread. So it's a bit of admin. It takes about 45 minutes to get everything outside, and which is a bit of not a pain, but it's it's like
it's admin.
By the end of it, I'm dripping in sweat, and I'm like, feel like I've done a workout. So that we might change that a little bit going forward. If we're here like this for another few more weeks, we might get the members to do their own areas.
Yeah, awesome.
Just teach you how to do that. So so we'll see. We'll kind of play with that. We're going to trial a barbell class on Saturday with Levi. So Levi's 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. classes are going to be barbell specific classes.
Well, get in quick for that team, because I know the classes have been booking up, and I know that the weather has been playing a part, but everyone that's still showing up and getting it done, man, shout out to you. Shout out to you.
Especially the 5 p.m. class yesterday. You guys were soaked by the end of it.
Yeah, because it turned to shite yesterday afternoon, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, let's start with, because it's been a little while, some daily gratitude. What are you grateful for today, bro? What is everyone else grateful to? Let us know in the comments. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really hard to quantify what I'm probably grateful for. Probably over the last few days, it's been pretty tough for me from a business standpoint, and probably a few people who I really respect within the business world have reached out to me and give me some help and guidance. So I'm pretty grateful for that. Whether someone keyed them into it or whether they just felt like they should message me, it was timely when they did. So
yeah,
I'm pretty happy about
awesome.
that.
That's awesome, bro. I am grateful for. I like how you use the word quantum. That's a good word. No, I'm not grateful for that though. I guess I'm grateful for where we're at in this world, like in this day and age. Like I can't even keep up with Jacinda, what's going on. I know that there was huge protests yesterday, and just everything that's going on. Vax, not vax. The mandate. You need a cert. What's going to happen with that? What's happening with businesses? And so I guess I'm just grateful that I can still stay grounded. In it, like I can still stay. I don't know. Someone watching might be like, "Oh, you're just a sheep," but I'm like, man, I'm not gonna lose sleep over when I'm already battling internally of how to show up for myself. So I guess just staying grounded. I'm grateful to be able to stay grounded. Oh, that's nice, Chuck. You missed us. Grateful for seeing the people outside of my bubble. Yeah. I think we caught up yesterday. We were shooting some hoops yesterday. And I think that's just been real, like a key part is just being able to go to the class and, working from home. I kind of like, it's hard for everyone. Working and parenting from home, man, that's like a double dose. And then being able to just get out to the gym and have you, Carly, and Levi there is probably like that is like the breath of fresh air that I think Jay's pretty much saying, right? Yeah, that's me. That's some good gratitudes there. Quickly, I just want to say happy birthday to my mum. It was birthday yesterday. Not sure how old you are, Ma, but hari huri tau kia koe. I hope you were spoiled with a nice dinner and all the trimmings, all the rest. So many birthdays this month. Halloween on the weekend.
Is it Halloween on the weekend?
Halloween on the weekend, bro. But
wow.
What is even going to happen in that current climate? Do kids go trick or treating or not? It's one of those ones where you're like, can I go outside? Can I not go outside?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's been talk of like contactless Halloween in some places. I don't know. Who knows? It's going to be one of those ones where it's you want to try and do the best for the kids, but you're probably damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Yeah. Hard.
Sorry. Ayla's just trying to. What are you doing? Right.
She's like, don't interrupt me, Dad.
Yeah, she's just like,
you're interrupting me.
It's that quintessential like cartoon thing when you're trying to be really quiet and you're moving something. It's
not my fault we have really loud floors.
Yeah. Still, I love how she's like, it's not even my fault, Dad. It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Welcome back, Doc. Welcome back to the free world. Well, not really free, but as much freedom as we can get. I hope you gave the kids a big squeeze, and I just want to say, appreciate you for going the hard yards, for being on the other side of the world, going through MIQ, and all of the rest. Anyone have any recommendations for home security cameras?
Oh, I do. Who do I know? There's someone I know that does home. I think if you message Nick Burke.
Nick Burke does security cameras.
Yeah. No, Channel's partner. Channel, you'll know, Marcus. He was talking to me about security cameras a wee while ago, and he seems to know a ton about them. So, Marcus.
Yeah, man. Anyone seen that truck? Let Lucy know. Already hard times at all. Don't worry. I was angry. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah,
Speaking of that,
little punks.
have you ever had anything stolen from you? This might be a touchy subject.
Yeah.
So, the truck got stolen. Everyone saw the post, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
it's
Like
just devastating, right? It's just devastating that
yeah.
that's what people are doing, really. Taking food off their own
Yeah.
table.
I think the one that really comes to mind, and it pales in comparison to what happened to Lucy. But
Yeah.
So when I was in the army, we issued a pack. It's called a Webb Ellis pack. So it's this big pack, and there's a brace to it, and there's strappings, and all your gears inside, your sleeping bag, and etc. 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 So there's probably $4,000 or $5,000 worth of stuff in it. Maybe not that much, but around about. And in the army, you have, you think with your mates, you're pretty safe. You can leave your stuff out, and generally you leave your stuff in your room. But I had been out on exercise, which is, been out in the bush for a period of time, and I'd come back and I had washed everything, and we had this huge drying room, right? It's massive. You can probably fit 30 or 40 people in it. And that's where you go and put you've got these big shelving units, and you put your stuff on there to dry, etc. So I put my sleeping bag that I'd washed and my bivy bag and all my gear. It was all laid out and ready to go.
Yeah.
And I left it there maybe for a couple of days to dry. And I came back in maybe on a Sunday and noticed it was all gone. And someone from our barracks had stolen it. And, so it's someone from my unit. And I was like, what the hell? And anyway, long story short, found out it was, and we couldn't catch the guy because he had left the army. So he was leaving. And when you leave the army, you had to give all your stuff back. But he didn't have all his stuff. So he was going to have to pay. He just went into the dry room, found the stuff that he needed, which was most of my stuff. And he just took it in, got it. Yeah. And then he what you called 717. So he was out like on the Monday or Tuesday that day. And by the time the MPs were able to investigate and do stuff, the probable cause was that this guy had done it.
Wow.
And and the ratchet thing is, I still got charged.
Really?
I still got charged for not securing my items, my stuff, and I got 7 days confined to barracks. I got a $500 fine. And then I had to pay my so the army has insurance, and then I had to pay the excess for the insurance.
Damn.
So even though it wasn't my fault, I still got I got nailed on it.
I think Lucy nailed it on the head though at the end of her post and said that, if you need it, just don't drink it away or smoke it away, or you actually need to provide for your family. Like those are I can't I hope not that something bad happens to them, but I kind of hope that they get sand in their undies.
Yeah.
Or really bad
jellyfish bite your bum in the water.
Yeah, that's as mean as they can go. I remember, I think I was about 11 or 12, so it must have been year 8 of North Cross, and Mum and Dad had just split. Me and Mum had just moved in with my uncle. So Mum, we just moved in with my uncle and his missus, and then me and Mum shared a room together. And I remember that we were all just slowly building up to move out and then have everything so we could move and all of that. And I remember Mum picking me up from school. And literally, and I was just finished school, hyped energy, it was a cool day. And then Mum just being like, everything's gone. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, Uncle's house got robbed. And I was like, no way. And literally, they sweep the whole house, whilst we were all at school and work, the whole house. And this was up in at the end of on Whitehall Road. This was honestly probably back then, way back then. And I remember just being literally everything, even my clothes. What would you have done with my clothes? even my uncle's like suits, you know, they took everything, and then they almost had like filled up what they had filled it up with, and then were setting up to come back. And then I remember getting back from after school, and because Mum prepped me and was like, all the police are going to be there, da 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 da. And then I just remember being like, we've literally got like I've got my school uniform and like a few things, like, but like even like the food in the freezer was gone. Like that's how desperate they got. And I just remember being like, I hope someone cuts your hands off. Like like, and I think it was just more like the fact that someone came in, like that was the part that was like, I think that just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like the fact that knowing someone's walked around in your space, like I'm like, oh man, to even have the balls to do that, to even think, oh no, karma's not going to get me. That's the part that I'm like, oh, and I remember that vividly too. And then I think that was like a huge, you know, I can't imagine what the weight that my mum was feeling or my uncle, because they were the adults that had to, you know, I was just the kid. So, you know, but I think if I was the adult in that situation, I think I would have reacted just the same, or if not worse. But yeah, thieves, they need to be punished. But yeah, anyways, heavy subject. But yeah, so just those things, It just
It kind of I kind of get it. Like this is kind of slightly on tangent, but it kind of so my very first police story.
Yeah.
My interaction with police, and this is going to sound really dumb, but you kind of get it if you're 8 years old. So I used to live in a place called Whitelaw Place in Whangarei in Kamo, and Mum used to always tell me, "Hey, go up the road and get $3 chips or $2 chips from the fish and chip store, which is right next door to the dairy, for our dinner, because we would always have chips and then like chops and chips and whatever."
Yeah.
And so she gave me, I think, $10 or something. You know, so I toddled on off and up to the top, and it's like a 15-minute walk, and I paid for it, and I was like, oh. And this is back in the day when the takeaway stores had spaces.
Yeah.
You know, but they used to have spaces out the back, so like a little room. And then anyway, the dairy next to us used to have like 6 or 7. So I was clicking off 6 or 7 spaces, Street Fighter, all the rest of it. And so I was like, I'll just say to Mum, I got $3.50 chips, and I'll just have a couple of quick games. So I put the coins in, and then I'm playing, and then before you know it, I've spent all the money.
Oh no.
And so I was like, oh shit. So I decided to go and come home and tell Mum I got mugged.
No.
And so Mum and I thought that would be the end of it. No, Mum called the cops. I was like, oh, I'm going to get out of this. So, the cop took me out to the thing, and then the guy goes, "Nah, he's been playing spaces. He spent all his money up there," and got found out by the cops. And then I got a verbal warning. Mum was like,
police officer experience.
Yeah. And so Mum took my Hulkamania weight set off me for a month.
Oh, bro. That was a setup of doom. Even trying to get yourself out of that.
It was like a cascading of stupidity down the line.
Decision making on that, eh?
Yeah.
Jesus. Would call the police. Yeah. Like, someone robbed my kid. And then you're like,
she was like, who were they? And, I don't know what I said. I probably came up with something. Oh, there was like 5 of them, and they. And I think from memory there was, when because you used to have to walk through like the Carmel Rugby Club, and there used to be the fields, and they used to have, those like big wooden stars where you'd kind of walk through. I don't know, stop bikes and that going on. And I think I remember slamming my shoulder or something into it to kind of give me a bruise to say that I'd been beaten up, but I didn't want to punch myself, so I was like,
you couldn't even commit.
And then I was like, yeah, there you go.
That is funny. First. Like even the thought process of like, I need to make out like I've been hurt.
Just to kind of like give the story some depth. But there was
that
no
is
depth.
Hilarious, bro.
It was. It was full of. It was like Swiss cheese, man, full of holes.
It's a good analogy. Definitely a good analogy. We are day 58 of our 75 hard,
Yeah.
bro. How are you feeling? How's everyone feeling that is also on the journey?
17 days. Yeah, it's been. You know,
Is that how many days we got left?
17 days. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
To be 17.
Oh, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, my date is the 14th of November.
Yeah.
What's your date? Because we started on the 1st of September.
Yeah, 14th of November is the last day.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm reading it wrong on my calendar. So 17 days. We're in this.
Yeah.
The home stretch.
Yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
be
You know, like
yeah.
I think that, you know, I was talking to you yesterday about, you know, the good thing about the 75 hard was that, you know, even though that I was going through just some challenges, I was able to always go back to that and just kind of not, I don't know if ground myself is the right word to use, but I was able to go back to what I knew that I could just get done, you know, control what I can control, and that's what I could control. So I just did that, which was actually really pleasing to know, because, you know, maybe in the past I might have just said, "Oh, F it all," and you know, just kind of really fallen into my shell a little bit. No, I was able to, you know, go back to that. So I was pretty happy to be able to get it done. And you know, I think the next sort of 17 days will be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Knowing that I was able to get through that.
Yeah, it's like the climb of it's like the steep climb. You're not at the top yet, but you were on that incline. Like, I can't see the top yet. You know, I can't see the top yet. And it's just on that repetitive, like, man. But not that you probably wanted to quit, but I think, like you just said, like, if it was before, you might have just went like, F it, da 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 da, and settled for whatever you were going to settle for. But this time around, just to even do those, being able to apply the basics on to your day and still feel like not like you do the things and then you're like, I've achieved and it's a great day because I've done my things. But I think being able to just still do it and then wake up the next day like you didn't fold. Like, even for me, I can relate to that on the daily, like week in, week out on the 75, knowing that I've still trucked on is the part that, again, you could have just slipped back way back and just gone, this is all good. I'm reading a really good book at the moment. Brene Brown. Anyone know Brene Brown? Yeah. I'm listening, not reading. Well, whatever. It's a book from the library that she's reading it to me. Whatever. I don't know how to. It's always so weird. I'm like, I'm listening to this book, or I'm like, I'm reading this book. I don't know what to say. Like, anyways, Brene Brown. It's called The Power of Vulnerability, and man, she is dropping some bombs, and I highly recommend it. Especially along she just talks about things that I think we all don't talk about a lot. She talks about shame. She talks about the blame game. She talks about, and she just breaks it down to, like, I when she reads it to me, I apply those things to me, and I'm like, oh, how do I navigate that? And it just makes me feel a little bit more okay with being vulnerable. It, like, not yesterday, I think it was Tuesday, didn't have a good day, but being able to be vulnerable has been the key on my journey, because I feel like we all hide behind that because we all think that it's weak. And it's real weird because, on here, people will go, when we talk about our life or something, people will be like, oh, that you would all think that I've got courage to be able to stand here and speak to you all about, I don't know, how I'm feeling. But when you were put in that situation, you would feel the shame of being able to speak about it, but actually it's being okay with the vulnerability, if that makes sense. And I feel like everyone has it, they just don't know how to get engaged with it. So it's a huge, I couldn't put it down last night. Like, I think I had already done my reading earlier in the day, and I was like, oh, I want to listen to it again, just because there's so many valuable things that I feel like everyone can apply to themselves, and even for me, like the shame, like it's so crazy how we react when we're embarrassed or when we don't feel, when we think we know and then we actually don't. Like that part I battle with on the daily. And so it's like a really cool way, when she explains it, is a really cool way to actually look in the mirror and go, it's all good, you know. It's, you can be embarrassed, but it's up how you react, and it keeps your spirits up in those situations, you know. I feel like I'm a ninja right school right now with these kids. I can imagine Parslow. Even that situation, that's a whole nother game changer. It would be cool to get you on, Parslow, sometime soon. I want to hear your thoughts on the school situation. I mean, you're like our firsthand. I know there's many teachers out there in the community, but you're like our firsthand broski to give us an explanation on what it's like. Hogwarts for ninjas sounds about right. Man, they won't be
actually. It was a bit weird yesterday, so I went and got a chiro adjustment, and when I was leaving, it was the end of Rangitoto's school day, and all the kids coming out, and it was really weird seeing kids, you know, out and about and driving around and doing this stuff. It was actually kind of nice, but you know, they see more humans than normal.
Yeah.
But you know, you forget how many there are.
Yeah, you do, and they're all just been locked away.
They're like little ants. They're probably like little ants with their hormones racing, and you know, they're probably en masse. The North Shore is going to have some clusters. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I can't imagine just that situation. That's just a whole nother realm. That's a whole nother realm that I'm just looking at over here. I'll tell you what, that movie that you recommended last week, Ready Player One.
Money, eh?
Probably one of the best movies that I've seen in a little while. Like, I rated it. Like, storyline, the action, the world. I was like sitting there on the edge of my seat, like, this is actually going to be the world. Like, this is, if this isn't, we're in denial if we're not going to think that this is what it's going to be like. Like, Ready Player One, really good movie. If you haven't seen it.
I just like the whole thing, you know, like climb Everest with Batman, and there's the dude hanging off and Batman twirling him up. I was like, yo, that'd be epic. Imagine doing that, climbing Mount Everest with Batman. And
it just makes sense. Like, it just makes sense. Like, I just imagine that guy that is, spoiler alert, got the keys, and you know, in that world, if you find the keys, then you're it, right?
Yeah.
And it's limitless to anyone. So that's the part that I was like, that's so doable. Elon Musk could do that. What if Elon Musk did that? And I guarantee you, people, herds of people would turn to that. If he was to create a game and go, you've got to come into the game because it's real life and da 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 da. Like, it's such a next level film sitter. So yeah, I think I'm going to watch that with the boys, because that would be, I think that even for them, they're going to be like, what? But yeah, been a good banter, bro. Yep. Thursday, Friday, tomorrow. What do we got for tomorrow? I'm going to say, isn't there a draw? You've got a draw.
On Saturday. On Saturday. So all you need to do is DM us someone who you think deserves a care package from us.
Yeah, that's actually really nice. And we are only 60 days out from Christmas, team.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, all 59 now. Yesterday was 60.
Yeah.
59 days until Christmas.
Yeah, I've actually it's the 1st of November on Monday.
That is very long.
It's Sol's birthday on Tuesday.
You're gonna have a 6-year-old.
I'm gonna have a 6-year-old gaming freak.
Hey, he's your child. He sounds like a byproduct of you.
Yeah, but I'm into guns and bombs. He's into Roblox, so there's something wrong about that.
Hey, don't diss Roblox. I've been playing that with my niece, and it's all right. It's. I feel like I've been playing the obstacle ones. Those are all
right,
right.
yeah.
Those ones are all right.
Okay.
But like the ones where you just hang out, nah. Yes, Troops doing Christmas teas team. So make sure you get yours and your families. Get a whole one for the whole crew. We're trying to go with the vibe. You know how like you the ugly sweater, the ugly Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the ugly Christmas teas. Well, not ugly. I reckon the dabbing Santa's pretty cute. So make sure you head up the Troop page for your Christmas goodies. That sounds like an ad, didn't it? Anyways, I'm gonna round us up for quote of the day for this morning, team. And it's number 65. You don't get to choose how you are going to die or when, but you can decide how you're going to live now. Boom. That is our quote of the day today, team.
Nicely
pretty relevant.
done.
Yeah, it is pretty relevant, and it is up to us how we are going to live. So be kind, give love, and yeah, we will be back tomorrow. Again, apologies about the last 2 days, but again, like I said, we're here now, and we'll be here
We've
tomorrow
figured
morning.
it out.
Yeah,
you think after 150 odd episodes we'd know what we're doing, but we're still learning.
Always still learning. But anyway, team, you guys all have a good day, and we will see you up all with some more good vibes and morning coffee.